What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading and Trading Dakota. Today is Wednesday, March. What is it? It's March 13th, 2024. And this is how we traded SPY today. So, folks, so we had CPI yesterday. And CPI day, generally speaking, is a really, really strong day to trade. If you remember back from yesterday's videos, we had nice moves to the downside, then to the upside, downside. A very, very nice day in the market today. So is today a CPI day hangover? Now, before the market opened today, I looked at previous CPI days or post, so the day after CPI day, just to kind of get a hang. And I think I know, generally speaking, what happened because I have a pretty good memory about that kind of stuff. There's generally speaking not a whole lot of movement the day after CPI day. It's one of those days. It's like, where the market is kind of exhausted from all the moves that it made on CPI day. So it just kind of bounces around. That is kind of the reality of that was. I hate to have an expectation. I don't want to have any kind of expectation whatsoever. But at the same time, the reality is the reality. If you see a pattern, on specific days, you don't have to trade those days, folks, but go back and look at the previous days after CPI or FOMC days. So check out those days. The more you can do to familiarize yourself with specific patterns after big days, the better you will be as a trader. So let's get in here now. Before we get into the chart, folks, if you like our videos, please go ahead and give us a like, a subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be one of the first to be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day and sometimes on the weekends. Don't forget to leave us a comment. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, share. Sharing is caring, folks. We'd appreciate that too. So, to the chart, here we go. Pre-market high. So, 517.49. Pre-market low of 516.41. So, right out of the jump, I'm thinking it's $1.08. It's $1.08 in pre-market. We had these little spikes down in here, these little volume spikes down in here. But again, it just not too much was going on. So again, volume spikes down in here. So let's get into the trading day, folks, and see what the day had in store. So first play out of the jump, folks, this morning. First play out of the jump. I was looking for puts. I was looking for rejection out of this rejection zone. Now, every single line is a 30-minute zone unless it is, unless there's a tag on it. So we got pre-market high, pre-market low, and I've got some different 15-minute zones on here. So I was looking for a rejection out of this 30-minute zone, and lo and behold, we got rejection, but you don't see a smiley face on there. Why? Well, I had my options chain pulled up, and I'm watching this thing reject off this level, getting ready to get into a play, particularly on the double cross, and the contract prices weren't moving. And I watched it for another minute or so, and the contract prices weren't moving. There must have been a glitch on my part because guess what? I missed the trade to the downside, opened it, I restarted it, opened it back up, and lo and behold, guess what? The contracts were indeed moving, but I missed it to the downside. This would have been just a heck of a play. So we got, essentially, if I'm taking that double cross, so let's call this 517 down to headline down here. $1.40, you're talking about $1.40, man, that is a wonderful, wonderful move. Even if you took it down to this line right in here where it kind of bounced around. Now, I had a specific level. So the level was 516.27. And I remember 516.27 because I was looking at volume profile. And on volume profile, it told me that I had a big volume shelf at that level, that we were safe. In other words, unless we breached that level, so that 516.27 to the upside, we were still safe in the play, even though it got into the fishtail just a little bit here on the 9. It got in the fishtail just a little bit here on the 9. I knew that I was still at least marginally safe in the play. Again, I wasn't in it. But I did, however, take this next cross to the downside. I got in a little bit late. A couple of my grandkids, my daughter and grandkids, are at my house right now. They're in from out of state. And we're kind of playing around. But anyway, I thought I was safe down here. I thought we'd come out and take this level down here. I should have taken profit in here. I didn't because, again, I thought we'd get a push down to at least this level because we touched it or pretty close to touched it at this level just earlier in the day. So I took the loss, first trade out of the box today. Again, missed this one. That's the way it goes, folks. That's absolutely the way it goes. So that next, this play right in here, this play was a nice little loser. So we made a nice little loser. But what did we do? So I took the same play back to the downside again. And what did I do this time? I was smart this time, folks. I took this on a breach of this level right in here. So this 516.54 took the breach to the downside, closed out the trade right in here. Now, we're still going to look at these levels in here. Pre-market high, 517.49, pre-market low. We got $1 here. So we have $1 here. All the way down here. So let's say 515.66 to pre-market high. We're talking about $1.60. Now look what it did in here, folks. It just bounced around some more. Not a whole lot of movement. These are soul-crushing moves, folks. I missed a couple in here that would have been good. But I'm thinking, you know what? The zones are really, really close together. And the result of the zones being close together is if it moves against you just a little bit, you're going to be in big trouble. And we don't like to be in big trouble. So I was able to take one more trade right in here to the upside. So we had a cross here. Nothing confirmed, back to the downside in here, across to the upside, and I decided to take this one here. Decent little play to the upside. You know, it was this trade right in here. So let me back this up over here. So this trade over in here, not a bad trade. You know, it got me a little bit better than even on the day. But again, it's all about trade execution, right? But I was able to take this trade and worked out very, very nicely. Did very, very well on the day. But look what it did the rest of the day, folks. Look what it did. Look at this price action in here. I mean, it's just, you know, by any measurable standard, the price action was not good at all. So we're getting the late part of the day. And I'm thinking, you know what? About 3 out of every 5 days. So 3 out of every 5 days, we get a really, really nice move at the end of the day. So look at what we're doing in here. So folks, we topped out in here. So we have this trajectory that's kind of going back to the downside. So you can see this. I just gave it away. Had all of this trajectory. So this is super late in the day. We've got a little over 40 minutes left in the day. I said, you know what? We're getting across to the downside. I'm going to go ahead and take this cross to the downside again, just below VWAP. So I had a little bit of safety down here. Jumped the play just a little bit, just barely above pre-market low. So above that, lo and behold, sitting in this trade for 2 or 3, 4 minutes. And it's going negative on me. It's not a big deal. Contracts are super cheap. I play SPX, play multiple SPX. But even at the end of the day, they're very, very inexpensive. When lo and behold, it seems like out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, we had all of this volume came in. I don't know why it happened, folks. When you find yourself in one of these trades like this, where it takes, you know, a couple minutes to get through the trade, and then all of a sudden it just whammos to the downside, $1.50 back to the downside, something like that. Let's actually figure out what it was. So we got 516.43 down to, let's say it bottomed out down in here. I marketed out in here, folks, because it was like, you know what, this is a big trade. Tallied it up at the end of this trade, 562% trade, which is a nice trade. Any way you cut it. These don't happen very often, folks. Now, 3 out of 5 days, you're going to get a play just like this at the end of the day. 350 candle, I was not at all concerned. I did not care what the 350 candle did after this play. It made a really, really not so great day with all of this price action in here. You know, just kind of ugly price action. It made the day much, much better and much, much greener. Still green up at this point. But nevertheless, if you can catch one of these plays, folks, you know, every now and again, once or twice a week, if you catch one of these a week, oh my goodness. Anyway, it was a good, I executed the trade how I was supposed to execute the trade. The result of the trade is secondary to the execution. It just happened in this instance. It was one of those that we call an absolute banger to the downside. It's one of those that makes all of this bad price action kind of worth it throughout the day. That's how she played out today. Now, tomorrow, folks, we have more reports coming out tomorrow. What do we have coming out tomorrow? Let's see. We have, I'm going to check this out real quick. So we have PPI coming out tomorrow. And PPI, generally speaking, that is another big market mover. So PPI tomorrow. We have multiple reports coming out tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So we had CPI yesterday, CPI hangover today with horrible price action until we got to the end of the day. And then we follow that up tomorrow with PPI. So we have PPI tomorrow. So that's how she played out. Really, really bad price action uh, uh, for the most part of the day, folks. I mean, just bad price action the vast majority of the day, followed by some absolute excitement. A lot of folks in the group were in this trade only because, it was an end of the day trade and they're thinking, you know what, let's throw some chips on the table and see what we can do. That's how she played out today. If you like our videos, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe, folks, and a subscribe. Don't forget to leave us a comment. We would greatly appreciate that as well. Now, if you're interested in live daily trading, so every single day from bell to bell, folks. So when the market opens, we're there. When the market closes, we're saying goodbye to everybody and hope everybody had a great day. So every single day, head on over to our live trading Discord. It is called Trading Decoded, the best Discord in the world. We're going to give you that first week for free, folks. It's free. The only thing that it costs you is a little bit of your time. If you're interested in the 920 crossover strategy, folks, you can head on over to 920trading.com. And again, the link for that is down below. Everything about the strategy is there as well. While you're there, go ahead and sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Cost you nothing but a little bit of your precious time. But that's how we did it today. I hope everybody had a great day today. Again, it was a rough day to trade today. But if you caught that last play, it really made the rough day worth it. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. I hope above all else you followed your trading plan today. The beauty is in the plan, folks. It's always in the plan. So have a great rest of the day. And we will see you in the markets.